Good morning. Well, there was violence last night in other cities. Policeman was involved in a hit and run. I believe that was New York. I don't know. It's horrible what's going on. I want to give us some fodder for prayer. Um, we we got to realize we're in a war now. This is a war, and it's time to pray like we've never prayed before. I At the same time I looked up in Nashville because I'm near Nashville, who was leading the rally there, the first rally on Saturday. I believe it was the 30th. Yes, on Saturday, just to see who the leadership was. And one of the groups is a group called Brothers of the Round Table, and they are connected to a group, two or three groups that are connected to the Muslim Brotherhood. So, I've known that they would be involved certainly in all this because they have the same goals as the left. So, but I want to read you a few things about, first of all, I'm going to read what the Muslim Brotherhood, you can read this online. This is their goals for America. And I'll give you the link below. Understanding the role, this was 1991. The Muslim Brotherhood document, which states their instructions for the infiltration establishment of Islamic power in North America. Here it is, the quote. Understanding the role of the Muslim Brother in North America. The process of settlement is a civilization jihadist process with all the word means. The Ikhwan, that's the member of the Muslim Brotherhood, or the believer here on American soil, the Islamic believer. The Ikhwan must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of the believers, so that it is eliminated and God's religion is made victorious over all other religions. Now that's just a little section of this long document, it's first in Arabic and then you can read it in English because it was discovered years ago during other administrations, and nothing's been done about it. Anyway, that's that. Now, remember when I just want to start a series about which will help us pray, about how the demonic is interested in territory. Now, do you remember in 1 Kings 20:23, there was a struggle. The Israelites, I can't remember if it was the tribe of Judah, the southern kingdom, or the northern kingdom, was having a battle against its enemies. And the enemies, it's recorded in there, the enemies said, oh, we know why they beat us, because their gods are the gods of the hills. If we fight them on the plains, we'll be victorious. So there was this concept in the ancient mind of God's having territories. Well, there's a reason for that, and I want to go into a teaching on that later. We'll start some more tomorrow, but because it'll help us pray, and it will help us understand. Islam has never denied that they believe they're supposed to take over the world. Muhammad himself said, "God has given me the earth." That's in one of their traditions, which is part of the holy writings of Islam. He said, "God has given me the earth to pray and do my rituals in." And, and there's a verse in the Quran that says, I should quote it, but I won't look at it right now, but it says that I've been instructed to perform jihad until everyone on the earth is either a Muslim or they're dead. I can quote you that some other time. But anyway, the violence, the destruction, that's part of Islamic law. But the demon, what I want to say is the demon behind Islam has never tried to hide that. It's hidden in other manifestations, but in Islam it is not. Okay. In David, I want to give you this example right quick. David, in 1 Samuel 17, was about to face the Philistine, the giant, we call him. So I heard Dutch Sheets saying these things. This is amazing revelation. He said David was of the tribe of Judah, and the Philistine, they were camped within Judah's territory. And David, he said, I can imagine that David, as a young shepherd boy, he was up there going to face lions and tigers and bears against his sheep, and he asked God, what weapon should I become proficient at? I mean, I could be good at the bow or at the sword or at the sling stone. And he said he wonders if David thought, well, the meaning of Judah comes from the word yod, which is hand in Hebrew. And it came to mean, we know that Judah means praise in our circles. Okay, Judah, why? Because that it means to extend the hand, which was an act of worship. Okay, so, but it also can mean to throw a stone. So perhaps David said, well, I'm from the tribe of Judah. One of the meanings to throw a stone, I'll become proficient at the sling. So he had all that practice, right? So he meets the Philistine. He goes down and sees this Philistine taunting the armies of the living God, defying the living God, in David's words. And, David, Dutch Sheets makes the point, he never called him by his name. He said, this uncircumcised Philistine. And the point he was making was that he was on the land of Judah, and he didn't have rights to the land of Judah. And so, and before that, I want to point out this too, that David had said to his brothers when they were ridiculing him, so what are you doing? Would you leave the sheep? He said, why are you saying these things? Is there not a cause? In our day, I would like to say, is there not a cause for us to go to war? So the truth was that David knew that he was on his territory, and this Philistine had no right to his territory because that was the territory of Judah. And that gave him even more impetus to take this uncircumcised Philistine down. So this is our territory. The land of America was given to God early on, and we made mistakes. We trampled on the people that were here already, but there's been repentance for that. I always think of Chuck Pierce's ministry, where they have ongoing relationships with Spirit-filled believers in Jesus from the indigenous peoples of our land, which is very important. Anyway, that's a beginning. That's an intro. We're going to go into the whys of the demonic wanting territory, and I think it'll help us in our prayers in these days. God bless. Love y'all. We'll continue tomorrow.